My name's Steve Damroth. I'm a near-death experiencer. I don't know if I can top a story about peeing down my leg, but I'll try. I died. I'm not terribly comfortable talking. I've always been an introvert my whole life, and since my experience, I've come out a bit more, been a little more open. But I'm still not sure why I'm up here. I guess I've got the belly button, so I've got my pass. My brother is paranoid schizophrenic. I come from a family of 5 kids. Five kids. My elder brother is paranoid schizophrenic, and one morning I had the day off from work, so I was sleeping late, and this was back when I was living at home with my family, and he broke into my room while I was sleeping, to make a long story short. He stabbed me in my chest while I was sleeping. I woke up to see the knife coming down. I fought him off, and I wound up getting stabbed 4 times, and the whole time being very shocked, and the shock was setting in. You're stabbing me! I can't believe why are you stabbing me? And it didn't. I mean, I knew he was paranoid schizophrenic, but it was still just completely out of the blue. I had no warning about it, and again, long story short, I went to the hospital. The entire time there, I was arguing with the paramedics after I realized I'm not going to make it through this. The paramedics who loaded me in the ambulance were more concerned about food allergies and such. They were asking me a lot of questions before they loaded me into the ambulance, and I'm saying, well, shouldn't we be going somewhere? And this whole time, I'm holding a towel on my chest trying to keep the blood from coming out, and they were more worried about food allergies. And so during this whole argument process, and arguing with them on the way to the hospital, saying, slow down, I've given up. I said, slow down, you're going to cause an accident. I don't want my last moments in this world to be causing pain to somebody else. I don't want anybody else to be hurt because of my being brought to the hospital. And well, it didn't stop there. I continued in arguing with people in the emergency room while they were operating on me, and I think they eventually drugged me to knock me out because it was getting old. But I lost consciousness on the table. One thing you never want to hear when you're in trauma surgery is "oops," and I heard that once. And again, long story short, I won't go into that. I lost consciousness and just darkness. I don't remember anything. I didn't remember any. I wasn't aware of anything, I should say, at that time. And I came to 3 days later in the 12 hours later, sorry. Oh, I'm a temporal idiot. About 12 hours later, I came to in the intensive care unit. And I don't know why, but I didn't know why. I was very angry. I was feeling very rejected. I felt like I had a prize in my hand and it was pulled away, and I didn't have any recollection of my experience at the time. And I was very angry, and I didn't know, I couldn't put any label to it. Why am I so angry? It didn't make sense to me. And it caused me a lot of confusion, and I was very worried about my sanity at that point. And this was before I even remembered the experience. And so over the span of 3 days, I had clergy come in and visit me. I had family come in, and a friend of mine came in and visited me, and he was very upset with my brother for having stabbed me. He was professing that he was going to get back at my brother for this, and I guess it kind of rubbed off on me. It gave me a reason to be angry. It gave me something to take all those negative emotions and spin them on my brother. It was very convenient. And so I got into that mode of thinking, and very false. It wasn't until another friend of mine from work came to visit me, and she said, "How are you doing?" And she was the first person to actually look me in the eye and not talk to my body, how are you doing? She was talking to my spirit. She was talking to me. And she asked me, how are you doing? And it touched me deeply, but the reflex kicked in, and I basically said, my brother's going to wish he finished the job. And her mouth dropped open, and she looked at me completely aghast and said, this is not the Steve I know. And just the look in her eye triggered something, and suddenly all the memories came flooding back. This is 3 days after the experience. Suddenly it all came rushing back in rapid succession. My experience came through, and all the anger and the resentment and the feeling of having lost everything and being angry suddenly made sense. I knew about the experience. I knew about being on the other side, and of the memories that came through, one of them that didn't come through is I don't believe I was given a choice to come back. I felt like I had it and it was pulled from me. If I had been given that choice, maybe that's why they didn't give it to me, because if I'd been given that choice, I wouldn't be sitting here now. But I came back, and from the memories came flooding back, and it all made sense. And all of the resentment I felt toward my brother not only evaporated because I knew where it was truly coming from, but also it was impossible for me not to forgive him. It's like it evaporated. It's like instantly a block of ice on the sun. It's just boom, gone. It could not stand up to the environment of that light that I was seeing at that moment. And I think my friend saw that too, because she then asked me again, "Are you okay?" It took me, well, I'm still trying to assimilate all of it. It's been 12 years. It was Friday the 13th of 95. 13s are a big part of my story, but again, for the interest of time, I won't go into that. But I've been trying to assimilate my experience, and to this day, I really wish I was still on the other side. I came back with a fighting purpose. Problem is, they didn't give me a memo as to what it is I'm fighting for. And I feel like my compass is spinning. I know I have to be going somewhere. I know I have to be doing something. There's somewhere I've got to be, and yet I feel like I don't know which direction to head in, but I'm chomping at the bit to get there. So it's like I'm killing time until either I have a purpose or until my time finally comes up. Experiencers quite often come back with a message, come back with a purpose, and I envy them, especially those that go back and come back and forth and back and forth. It's like they've got a summer home there. I'm very envious of that. Yes, very much like the playground. I'm still waiting for a booster shot, and I'm very upset with Dennis for not equipping us with a defibrillator so we could all go for a day trip. Because I need one. So I'm trying to reassimilate all the feelings. Some of the memories, it took me about 6 months to get all of those back that I had. Most of those I've managed to retain over the years. Again, it's been I'm starting my 13th year. October 13th is just a little while ago, so I'm hoping things are going to change yet again in my life this year, and continuing with meditation and continuing with listening for the answers. And I know that they're there. I just not seeing it. Sorry, I don't have time to go into the experience itself, but it was quite an experience.